In this video, I'm going to go over linear inequalities. Here's our first problem. 2x minus 5 is less than 7. So the object is to get the x by itself on one side. So let's isolate it on the left side. So let's start with a negative 5. So the way you move that over is you add 5. So plus 5 plus 5. You have 2x is less than 7 plus 5 is 12. And the last step is to divide both sides by 2. Now we have x by itself. X is less than 12 divided by 2, which is 6. X is less than 6. Let's do a number line for this. Here's 6. Here's 0. So x is less than 6. So that means that 6 is not included. So you have an open circle at 6. And then you just draw an arrow to the left because it's everything smaller than 6. Now let's also do this in interval notation. The far left side is negative infinity. So to do this in interval notation, it's going to start at negative infinity. You always put a parenthesis around negative infinity because we don't know exactly where that is. And then it goes up to 6. But it does not include 6, so you need a parenthesis around 6. So that's interval notation. Let's do another problem. Negative 3 times the quantity x plus 2 is greater than or equal to 15. I think probably the best thing to do here is just to divide by negative 3 at the beginning. Again, we're trying to get x by itself. So we're dividing by negative 3. You get x plus 2. And we can drop the parentheses around the x plus 2 since the negative 3 is gone. Since we're dividing by a negative 3, we're dividing by a negative, you have to change the direction of your inequality. So instead of being greater than or equal to, it's going to be less than or equal to. That's only if you multiply or divide by a negative with an inequality. And then we have 15 divided by negative 3 is negative 5. Okay, so we need to move the 2 on the other side. The way we do that is subtract 2, subtract 2. 2's cancel. We get x is less than or equal to negative 5 minus 2 is negative 7. All right, let's do a number line for this one. Here's 0. Negative 7 is somewhere over here to the left of 0. So x is less than or equal to negative 7. Negative 7 is included because it's less than or equal to negative 7. So we're going to do a filled in circle for negative 7, and then you're going to draw an arrow to the left of that because it's less than or equal to that. And then to do interval notation, the far left side, way out to the left, is negative infinity. The way you would write this in interval notation is negative infinity. It starts at negative infinity and then it goes up to negative 7, and negative 7 is included. So since negative 7 is included, you're going to have a square bracket. So that's the difference if you include an endpoint. Let's do one more. 4x minus 2 is less than or equal to 5x plus 9. So you want to get the x's on the same side. So let's move that 5x to the left. The way we do that is subtract 5x from both sides. And you have 4x minus 5x is negative x. And we have a minus 2 less than or equal to. We still have a 9 on the right side. Now let's move the negative 2 over to the right. Since it's a negative, we're going to add 2 to both sides. That goes away. You have negative x is less than or equal to 9 plus 2, which is 11. Now we almost have x by itself, but we need to actually divide by negative 1. And again, since we're dividing by a negative, we have to change the direction of that inequality. Again, that's only if you multiply or divide by a negative with an inequality. Okay, negative x divided by negative 1 is just x is greater than or equal to 11 divided by negative 1 is negative 11. All right, let's do a number line for this one. So here's negative 11, and 0 is like somewhere over here. And we have x is greater than or equal to negative 11. Because of this, because of that extra line on the bottom, that means that negative 11 is included. So you got to fill in that circle around negative 11. And then it's greater than or equal to negative 11, so you're going to shade to the right. So we're shading to the right. And then for interval notation, if you go way out to the far right, there's positive infinity. So the way you do interval notation is we're going to start with the smallest value, which is negative 11. You start on the left side, and negative 11 is included, so we're going to have a square bracket, and then it's just going to keep going to the right up to positive infinity. And infinity always has a parenthesis, so